Hello, boys and girls. Today, I want to introduce you to the 7 elements of art. Technically, there are 8, but the 8th is more about time and learning history. And while history wasn't my greatest subject in school, let's talk about the art. First, there's line, then shape, then form from 2D to 3D shapes. There's space, texture, value or hue, and color. You may know some of these words already, but today we're going to focus on line as we do a Halloween themed project. You're going to need an orange piece of paper, a pumpkin stencil, or you can make your own pumpkin, a black marker for the outside, orange for the inside, and green. And you'll see why you need all of that in a little bit. Also, it would be great to have some references like the one I'm going to show you in the video. I hope you like the activity and try it with me. First, you're going to take your pumpkin stencil and place it in the center of your orange paper. Then, trace around it, holding it firmly with one hand while tracing with the other. Whenever you're working with a stencil or a paper in general, even if you're in another class, you should be holding your paper with one hand while writing with the other paper. That's how you have good penmanship, and that's how you have good artwork. Here, I have my sample pumpkin, just the way I want it to look after I draw my indent line. Did you know that pumpkins were bumpy and lumpy? Well, notice how my lines curve inward. So on one side, they curve towards the middle, and on the other side, they're still curving towards that middle point. On the top, I separated out my stem from my pumpkin slices. And there are 2 smaller sections of pumpkin for the back side of the pumpkin. Here you can see that I've added a sheet of examples of lines. I told you we were going to focus on lines as our part of art today. Inside of each of those pumpkin slices that you drew, you're going to choose one design. So you should have a lot of designs to choose from for each pumpkin slice. And if you have this or another resource, you can change it up and make it your own. Maybe add dots, polka dots, or open circles. Maybe you can do diagonal lines, straight horizontal lines, straight vertical lines. There's also wavy, and there's so many options to choose from. So, moving that page aside and keeping it in my eye, I can choose what I think would look best in my pumpkin. I want to start with pencil just so that I can make sure that I can erase it if I choose a different design. From there, I'll trace it over with my orange marker, which may not show up on orange paper. so you could choose a different color. It's entirely up to your creativity. Show me you. When talking about lines, it's important to know the resources that you have. A straight edge or a ruler is definitely an asset in the art classroom. You can take your ruler, again, holding it firmly as you did with your stencil, and move it about the paper as you need to create your lines. When you want to do wavy lines, just keep in mind the distance or the space between your lines. That's another element of art that we'll get to at a future lesson. Just see that they're all connected. just know that sometimes not all of your ideas will work out. I had the idea of using yellow to highlight some areas of my pumpkin. When I did a pumpkin project last year, I used oil pastels on orange paper, and the yellow really made the highlights pop. But maybe yellow marker on orange construction paper is not the best idea. So I just adapted. Moving on to my green marker, I wanted to make the pumpkin vine. Pumpkins grow on vines. In order to make my pumpkin vine, I'm using a fine marker. You can use a fatter one if you wish, but then it'll look more like the tubes that carry the water to the plant. If you make thin loop-de-loops, you're making vines. If you don't know how to make a loop-de-loop, you can think about shoelaces, or if you're learning cursive, the letters A, E, and L are perfect examples of loops. Some are longer and some are shorter. Some curve one way and some curve the other. You can curve your loops up and down. It all depends on how the stem is going. From there, we'll draw some leaves. The easiest way to draw a leaf is to draw a heart. And if you want an added challenge, you can draw a heart upside down. If this is too tricky for you, you can always turn your paper upside down and draw your heart the regular way. To practice drawing a heart, you can draw a C and a backwards C. Or, as one of my students told me, you can draw a candy cane and a candy cane going the other way and meeting at the bottom. It's all on how it will help you make the best heart or leaf shape you can make. And that, my friends, is how we make a very cool lined pumpkin. I hope you enjoyed.